Well, look what the dog dragged home today. A Craftsman mower. Good girl. That's a good find. I've worked on this mower before a bit. It's just a customer's of mine. Basically, what I've done is he overheated the engine and ran it too low on oil, so the engine seized. And I unseized it for him. Told him, obviously, like, that shortens the life and all that stuff. A little bit of a rod knock, but it still runs pretty good. However, now it is smoking like crazy. So let me show you guys, and then we'll troubleshoot. See, it actually runs very well, and it idles up to speed too. So we'll wait for it to start smoking. There, I don't know if you guys can see it or not very well. It's pretty smoky. Let's see what happens if I try to mow around with it a little bit. Anyway, there you go. Shut it down. Now it's starting to run a little rougher too. See, it's starting to choke a little bit. So, I think you guys know what's wrong. I will tell you what I think though. I should get Beetle out of the smoke. I don't want her to get cancer. Beetle! My first thought was overfilled oil, but then I realized I was the one who did the oil change on this. So I'd have to be pretty stupid to overfill it. And I was correct. I checked the oil and it was not overfilled. So the next step is to smell the oil, see if it smells like gas. In this case, it does not. And it's got that viscous oil. It's actually a little underfilled on oil. Oh, because it obviously because it's burning it. Okay, so next logical thing, if there's no gas in the oil and if it's not overfilled, is the head gasket. So let's just check that. I'll start the engine, take out the dipstick, see if it blows a bunch of smoke. Woo! Oh yeah, all right. We got ourselves a bad head gasket. All right, let's dig into this engine. You're going to take the cylinder head off. I like that this hood is metal, that's nice. Alright, so we'll start by taking off the shroud. Let's do that now. These are the real men's noise cancelling headphones. Next we got to take off the valve cover, and then after the valve cover's off we can take off the head. Let's do that. We got the valve cover off. We're going to take off the cylinder head. Yesterday I made a pretty bad mistake. I used, I think, a metric on the it was probably an SAE bolt. It was either metric on SAE or SAE on metric. So I stripped this guy right here, this head bolt, and I couldn't get it off. So basically I just cut off the head with a with the Dremel here, and now you can just twist it out with a flathead, because I also put a little flathead bit right there, you can see. But in my typical Dremel fashion, I did some accidental cuts and gouges there. Anyway, let's just take it out and assess the damage. Also, to get the head off, you need to take off part of the exhaust, which I don't remember where I put it. This bit of the exhaust, which sticks like that, and the carburetor over there. Okay, and here, if it focuses on my hand. Whatever, it's not focusing. Here's the head bolt that I took the head off, though, as you can see. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, let's take the head off. All right, here's the blown head gasket. It's got a blow there and up there, a little bit of a gap, so that the exhaust gases and oil could go back and forth and sloopy everywhere, which is no good. And as you can see, there's plenty of oil in this chamber. No good. All right, so the head gasket came, and I'm a little angry at their shipping method because they didn't package it well, so it has a small bend up top here, right there. Luckily, it's not the most important spot, which is the middle bit here. That's where you really don't want a bend, but still pretty annoyed by that. Hopefully it still works. Let's see if I can get the old head gasket off. The old gasket is off. We got Beetle basking in the sun. Let's put this back together. Put it back together. These valves are good. I can't turn them or anything, so I'm not going to do a valve job. So when you're putting the push rods back in, the lower one is the aluminum one, and the upper one will be the steel one. And I think they did it aluminum to cut lag, but it's really just cost cutting. So make sure you weigh them in your hand, and you can tell which one's heavier and which one's lighter. So we're throwing everything back together. I got the valve cover on, got the head on. Got to tighten this carburetor up. We're getting there. Alright, so I got the mower out here. You'll notice I put the exhaust on up like that because the muffler I spilled a bunch of oil in, so I put it in there and it smoked a bunch still, even though I already replaced the head gasket. But then when I put it up like that, like a kind of smokestack, now it's not smoking anymore, so I'll show you. Looks kind of cool. I'll have to empty the muffler, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, let's start her up. Alright, I cleaned out the muffler as best I could with a paper towel, so I'm just going to put this back together, see what happens. Alright, I came outside to a little bit more light. Good news, I just ran it for about 30 minutes with the exhaust cleaned off, and the smoke has dissipated, so there's no more. Start it up. And I did mow for 30 minutes with it, and there was still no smoke. I'll show you what I mowed. I'm gonna do my best to hide the house so that you guys don't know where I live, but there, I mowed all of this down. Left some nice stripes too. All right, so that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. See you next week.